Welcome to Waxing Pixels, the podcast on the channel Battle Geek Plus. It's a Twitch channel, it's a YouTube channel, it's a Twitter account. I had another thing, but I totally forgot.
I had
a funny thing.
I just wanted to tell people who are listening to the audio-only version, either on YouTube or on iTunes. This is a Twitch show, so we're going to be making a lot of references to our Twitch chat and stuff. So just make sure that next time you watch us on twitch.tv/BattleGeekPlus when we go live, and check the schedule on our page.
That works.
Waxing Pixels is a show that does on Twitch live on Tuesday nights, 7:30 Pacific time. That's 10:30 Eastern, and we talk about video games, just like the audio version. Audio version comes out on Thursdays at I don't know what time, but early enough that
sometime in the morning, a time in which
it just goes up.
We are not awake.
It goes up when iTunes decides it goes up.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So. But if you want to catch it live, we've been doing it live for, what is this, the third week?
Yeah, the third week, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. So, this is the third week we're doing it live. I'm Josh. With me is Heather.
Hi.
Ryan.
Hey.
And we got Frank with us live this time.
Rock on.
Frank is finally here.
I like that. That's a Frank thing now.
All right.
Frank thing now.
So.
You can't make it a Frank thing.
Why
Only
not?
I can make it a Frank thing.
Oh, okay.
If it sticks, it's a Frank thing.
So, by the way, whenever you left for work this morning, I ended up tweeting something about you. And it was something about...
I saw that.
It was, okay, so you have a habit of whenever you get up and you're just like getting your shit together and going out the door. Like you go in the bathroom and you use the bathroom and you slam, like you just like close the toilet lid and everything and you just like let it fall, and it frightens me awake. And I tweeted about that last night, wondering who does that.
It is a heavy lid.
It is a heavy lid. And Josh's response was, Frank doesn't sleep. He waits.
I was actually looking for it right now so I could find the conversation, because that made you laugh your ass off.
Basically.
It
was so funny. And
stare at
here
just
it is.
lay on my bed, stare at the ceiling.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Yeah, so Heather, like you said, who gets up from a dead sleep to use the bathroom and then slams the toilet lid down after? My brother-in-law, apparently. And then I said...
Yeah, I knew who you said.
And then I said, Frank doesn't sleep. He waits.
So we started imagining you just, like you said, just laying there, staring at the ceiling.
Actually, no, I do more than that. I hold it in until the alarm goes off.
So you don't have to get up before your alarm?
That's right.
Oh, okay.
like we imagine you just like laying there, like staring at the ceiling, like kind of holding the blanket like this up to you, and you're just like contemplating random crap. And just like
you normally do,
or like counting the seconds in
Heather,
your head.
that's every guy.
Get up.
It's every guy.
Yes.
They contemplate stuff.
I mean, I contemplate.
And then like I also imagine like every once in a while you just kind of randomly just spasming a little bit just because you're bored.
Do I what?
Do you ever wonder if food would taste different on Mars?
What? Maybe.
No, I hadn't considered that because I don't think about space travel.
Don't go far enough.
I guess not. I think I contemplate more things that are within the realm of my possibility currently.
And that's why you will always be where you are.
Well, Frank's gonna be on Mars eating chicken nuggets that taste like pizza.
All right.
Mars chicken nuggets taste like pizza. Chicken nuggets are my favorite food on Mars. You heard it here first.
Something pizza sushi.
Exactly.
Oh, pizza sushi.
All right, so on this show, we have a segment before we get into our topics that we call What You Playin'. And Ryan has a kind of a little graphic thingy for it now that he made. I didn't even ask
Look
for
at Ryan.
it. But he's on top of it.
He's doing stuff.
There's a lot of things that, we are not on top of here, but we are on top of that. And or at least Ryan is.
Yeah.
We're not on top of the fact that there was no soda made, so I didn't get a drink, and it made me sad.
Oh, well, you should have just gone and made soda.
Well...
You can do that.
Well, no, I'm not going to do that now.
I mean, you can. It's okay. I mean,
that's okay.
Well, the best soda is the one you make yourself.
It is. It's true, especially whenever there's scotch in it.
Yeah, I mean, you go out, find a soda cow, milk it, and take it home with you.
There you go. I mean...
That's how it works.
I mean, if I really wanted to, I could just do Scotch on the Rocks. But I don't know, I'm kind of not feeling Scotch on the Rocks. I want to do just like Scotch and Coke.
Or rather than like udders, like it's like this fountain soda machines where you press the button. You just underneath this couch.
You just like push the nipple.
Yeah, and they're all labeled like different sodas. So you have like Coke and Cherry Coke and like Fanta and all that stuff. Just like
none of that diet shit, because fuck that shit.
The cow would probably burp a lot because there's so much carbonation.
Probably.
Well, the trick is you gotta sneak up to them.
And like sneak up behind, just be all like,
"Yep,
soda."
Yeah, you can't do it in one go. You have to like have it not wake up.
Oh, you're talking about whenever they're asleep. Oh, okay.
Or that sneak up on them.
Hey.
BoobTube Gaming.
Hey, how's it going, John? Yes, Frank is here.
Yay.
BoobTube Gaming says,
"Hey,
it's Frank. Where the hell have you been, you lazy bastard?"
Working.
Perfect response. Yeah, no. Frank's been having to work at like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. So that means he needs to go in his room and wait for a few hours, kind of recharge a little bit.
Now I imagine him like having chargers in the shape of his feet at the foot of his bed.
Well, he picked up one of the wireless chargers from IKEA.
Oh, okay. And he just lays down on that.
He just lays down and like puts like his heel on it.
Oh, okay.
You know?
That works.
And that's how he recharges. But yeah, anyway, so we were doing this segment called What You Playing, and we got distracted a little bit. I put my hands all the way up here because the box, which we're trying to hide with product, is like hiding my hands when I'm trying to do this. And like, there we go. What You Playing right there.
Yeah, we got to please the sponsors somehow.
So yeah, what you playing? And we're going to start with Heather. What you playing?
So I finished Shantae.
Okay. Which Shantae?
The second one, which is Risky's Revenge.
Yes.
Yes, thank you, Frank. And I immediately started playing Pirate's Curse. And I didn't get very far, and then the very next day I started work. And then I worked, and I worked some more, and then some more, and then here we are today.
So can I have my Steam account back now, or...?
You can totally have your Steam account. Like, why? You can totally... Like, the Steam account, if it's still logged in on the computer, you can just log yourself out and log in there. Mm-hmm. And when you're not using that, we can just go back and forth. It's not a big deal.
I don't know if it works like that.
Oh, well. Okay.
We'll just get a really long HDMI cable and run your computer to our
TV.
TV.
To the TV. Whenever I want to do some Shantae. But I'm working a lot again this week, so...
Ba-da-bum.
Bump.
Yeah.
There we go. I'm tweeting that we're live right now. So that's what I'm doing. It's work related. There's the camera. It's work related. So yeah. Anywho. So
but that's about it.
That's about it. Ryan, what you playing?
Okay, so I am playing Metroid Samus Returns on the 3DS. I'm almost to the end of the game. And also I have been playing Cuphead on the Xbox One. A very, very lovely, awesome game. But it makes me want to throw my controller at the screen at times because it gets so freaking hard. It's like Contra, but set in the 30s. Like it's like 30s cartoon Contra.
So you say it's like super difficult, right?
Yeah, super difficult.
Now, I was watching our buddy Spicy.
Yeah, I saw him play it too.
He was playing that on a keyboard.
Damn! Oh my god! I have no idea how
he was playing that on a keyboard. He had that set up with like Z and spacebar and all this other stuff, and like he was trying to play that on a keyboard.
Yeah, I remember Spicy being like, "Man, I think Cuphead made me salty."
Yeah, he tries not to get salty.
We can only hope, babe.
Oh, yeah. Cuphead being on other consoles, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's on the PC too, so
yeah, there's at least that.
I don't PC, so.
But you can PC.
Yeah,
I can PC.
But you're PCing on Shantae.
Are you PC, bro?
I am, but.
Are you PC, bro?
Anyway.
Yeah, it's a fantastic game. I highly recommend it, but if you don't know how to control your anger, you're probably going to be out one controller.
And a TV, possibly.
And a TV. And I was it's a good thing I wasn't playing it on Twitch, or else you would have probably seen me go Super Saiyan.
Well, that's probably something they wanted to see.
Ryan.
Like, seriously, blonde, long-haired Ryan, glowing and, like, all muscular and everything. Like, who wouldn't want to see that sudden transformation happen live?
And I'm actually halfway through the game.
I mean,
What?
it would be, like, really entertaining to see, is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
So the game isn't exactly good for my blood pressure, but I'm playing it anyways.
I'm sure at some point it's also good for stress relief once you succeed. It creates
I think it's causing stress.
I don't know.
I remember watching Spicy play against...
No. Salty.
Salty
He's
back pain?
salty
He's salty
back pain.
now.
Salty back
Hey,
pain.
salty back pain.
I remember Riley playing against one boss that was like a couple of frogs.
Oh, yeah,
And
those
one was
bosses.
wearing white and
those
one was wearing
motherfuckers.
red, and they had karate belts on. And
Yes,
like, one of them was like firing like fists out. They were like covered in flame, and I was like, "Those are Ryu and Ken. That has to be Ryu."
Yeah,
and
that's
Ken.
exactly what I said when I fought them.
So,
I can't read what Gabe said.
Or if you're that one reviewer that failed to.
Oh
play
yeah, that guy
right.
that guy who gave it like a low score because he didn't play it correctly.
How do you play it incorrectly?
Well, you die, I think, a lot.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, I get that, but
I thought this was in regards to like somebody being like, "Oh, this game is not 4K graphics."
Yeah,
Or some shit.
yeah. Well, I think that 4K graphics was about Star Fox 2 on the SNES Mini.
Oh,
Well, like which I will talk
People are
about.
dumb.
Yeah, which I will talk about in our last segment.
Yeah, no, well, IGN's, they've done some bad reviews before. One, they had someone who hates beat 'em up games review Double Dragon Neon. So
I've totally seen people do that kind of thing before, Gabe, where
Oh.
you know the tutorial is right there, and they just don't know what they're doing. I remember watching a Let's Play of Last of Us, and it was in the later part of the game, and you were, what's her name?
Ellie.
Ellie, thank you. I was going to say Nellie, and I was like, that's way off.
Nelly.
Way off by a single letter. But you were playing Ellie, and it was a point in which you come across the guy who you basically slaughter like his entire group, and you're trapped in this diner, and he's trying to hunt you, and you have to like sneak around and like take shots at him and then sneak away.
Yeah.
And there's all this broken glass littered everywhere, and the guy kept crossing over the broken glass, and the enemy would be all like, "Oh, there you are," and he'd be all, and he was like, "How the fuck did he see me? Like he can just see through tables and shit." And it was like, it was so annoying because it was like, you fucking moron. It's because he heard you walk on the glass, and he never once understood it the entire time. He somehow managed to end up winning that section, but barely. Like he was barely alive, and he was just like, I don't know, like if there was a bug in there or something. It was kind of painful to watch, but I know exactly what you mean, where people are severely unaware of game mechanics. Like I understand going through a section and not knowing the particulars and just kind of screwing around for a minute to kind of figure things out, and then be like, oh, okay, now I'm an idiot. But it was like 25 minutes of this guy just not getting it. It was bad.
Well, as they say, you can't spell ignorant without IGN.
You know, I've never heard that before, but okay.
Oh yeah, well actually people have been saying that for like, over a decade.
Oh,
It's
Frank
like- it's-
approved.
it's
Stamp. We need to get you a stamp that says Frank approved. You can just like start
I've
stamping
been thinking
things.
about it.
Yeah. Yeah?
Yeah.
Just randomly stamp things around the house.
It has to be like a big stamp. It can't be a small stamp. It has to be like a huge stamp.
Like the kind that like you use like official bureaucratic stamp.
like one that's big enough that if you actually stamp something that's alive, it's considered assault.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. So, Cuphead, you're about halfway through the game.
Yeah,
Incredibly
halfway.
difficult.
Incredibly difficult, yeah.
But is it rewarding to you? Do you want to keep going?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I mean, it's an amazing game. It's an amazing looking game. You know, the gameplay's pretty amazing. The control's very smooth, but it's just very hard.
Okay. Awesome. So, Frank,
Yes.
what you playing?
Currently, right now, EVE Online. That's about it.
You've got a thing on screen that's spinning in circles and being invisible and then not invisible and then what's going on?
My ship is warping.
Oh, it just doesn't look like it's going anywhere because the background's
Well,
not moving.
The camera is fixated on the ship, and the background is space.
Oh,
there we go.
Now
Now it's
see,
all like
over there on
flickering.
Frank's computer.
See the
right there.
space around it being warped.
That's what I'm like used to seeing. So basically, the dining room is Frank's gaming office, and it's like kind of we got the kitchen right here with a bar, like a kitchenette, and then Frank's gaming office, and then the living room right here, which is kind of also my gaming office, and yeah. So we can just kind of look over and see what Frank's playing. He is currently playing a video game right now. That is how
he's so good,
efficient he is. He's actually played 2 video games at once before while recording. One on his phone.
One on the computer.
One on the computer.
Oh yeah,
At the
I've
same
done that
time.
before.
Yes.
You
And
can
then
do that
while
with
recording.
that.
Yes.
You can do that with Eve.
Play video games on
Yeah.
phones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't tell anyone from the 80s. They won't believe you. So, anywho. EVE Online. Is there anything else that you're playing right now?
No, that's it.
What are you doing in EVE?
Making in-game money. That's about it.
Oh, so you're just leaving your you're just leaving your ship there at the grind, or is it
I'm
collecting money?
transporting goods from one place to another. Basically, I'm buying low from one place, selling high at another.
Okay, and it's doing this all automatically over there right now.
Well, I have to put in the coordinates
Autopilot.
and
Oh,
stuff and put it on autopilot.
And do you actually have to do the buying and selling, and then
Yes.
you just let the traveling happen like after you put the coordinates in?
I can manually travel if I want to. It's faster if I do it manually,
Okay.
but I
You got
can
other
be
shit to
away. I can be away and put it on autopilot. But buying and selling stuff, I have to do that.
How much
myself.
money do you feel comfortable having?
I'm trying to get into the billions.
Billions.
I'm halfway there.
Billions! Billions!
Well, I spent like 300 million, and hopefully I can get that back up to 800.
Who's that guy?
Stop talking in your own chat, weirdo.
I was trying to see.
I just the only reason I asked that question is because I know that whenever Breath of the Wild had come out and we were all still playing it, I remember I was, I don't know, fighting a Hinox or some shit, and pulled out my bow, and I think I had like, I don't know, 12 arrows left of that particular arrow, and you were just like, oh, you're almost out. And I'm like, I mean, yeah, but it's not going to take 12 arrows for this, and I can always get more. And you had said that you don't, you never use your arrows unless you have 3 digits. Like, you have your arrows in the hundreds, because you start getting nervous when you get below 100. And so I was just asking about the money, and apparently...
Oh, you're talking to
billions.
me!
Yes, I'm talking to you!
Yeah, no,
Yes.
I'm not someone.
I spaced out.
Of course you did. But no. Like, you were saying that you got nervous playing Breath of the Wild if you had less than 100 arrows.
Yes.
So, like, you'd be fighting somebody or running around, and, like, you'd have, like, 90 arrows, and you'd be like, I need to go get more arrows!
It's like having health potions in video games. You keep saying, oh, I'll use it when I need to. I'll use it when I need to. And then you get in the game and you have, like, a bazillion.
47 million of them.
47
Yeah.
million.
I'm totally an inventory pack rat when it comes to shit like that.
That's kind of what's going on with the game I'm playing right now, actually. So I am streaming on my personal channel. On Kendamu, I am streaming the original Ninja Turtles game.
Yeah, I've been watching that.
And so you have the first level where you fight Rocksteady and Bebop, and then you have the second level where you disarm the bombs, and then the third level where you have the van. That's the first time that you can come across scrolls in that game. Scrolls are like the super powerful weapon that make you launch extremely powerful ki that just destroy everything on screen in a couple of hits. Or one hit for most enemies. And there's one place where it's really easy to get them, so you can just grind through that building over and over again, and I'll have like 80 scrolls between like 2 turtles. And I'm just kind of like, cool.
That's a lot of pockets on turtles.
Right? I'll just be like, okay, I'm going to go ahead and keep these scrolls in their storage shells until things start getting really difficult. And then things start getting really difficult during the airport level. And I'm all like, no, I've got to conserve them so that, I'll have them when things get really difficult. And then I finally get like to the Technodrome and whatnot, and I've still got like 75 scrolls. And I probably need like 40 to get through the entire game. So
Good job.
yeah. So I'm an inventory pack rat in that regard.
Oh man, because I would be using all those scrolls in that final hallway before Shredder.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saving them for, is what I'm doing, and I have like 75, and I need like 30 to get through that hallway. Because like that hallway, which when you see me playing, like I've had to, I'll make a save state and I'll just practice that hallway over and over again because that's a really tough hallway. But for the most part, it's when the jetpack guys show up, you duck and they just go straight over you, and then you start walking again. And if any of those little helicopter things come out and hit you, they try to hit you, you just hit them with like Dawn's bow or some random sub weapon. It'll take them out in one hit. Yeah. But there's a couple of spots where the hallway is narrow enough that you might get hit by the jetpack guys anyway.
Yeah.
And then if that messes up the flow of your movement, the ones that have passed you will continue going with you.
Yep, I remember that.
To shoot at you. So like you've got to have like this exact rhythm to get them to stay away until you get to that really narrow part where they just show up and then back off and show up and back off, to which then you have to actually slow down enough that they'll stay backed off. Because if you start going again, they'll like stay on screen and then they'll just chill out and keep shooting at you, and it's just like, So
technical.
It is a game where you actually have to like strategize to beat it and like prepare ahead of time and all that stuff. And like really, if you do, you could probably beat it in about 40 minutes, unless like you're some god tier speedrunner who does it in like 18 minutes. So with like one set of scrolls, because you just have everything like muscle memory memorized. But I've come up with some really good strategies for Spicy on he does Turtle Tuesdays on like Monday night. Back. Yes. Salty back pain. Spicy back pain. Our Canadian friend. He runs it on something called Turtle Tuesdays, which is actually Monday night, but it's like Tuesday in a lot of places. So he calls it like early Tuesday in a lot of places. So he calls it Turtle Tuesday. And I've come up with some strategies for him that have sped him up a little bit. And I don't know. Maybe I should stop telling him the strategies and just try and speedrun it myself and just be like, haha, I can beat you.
Maybe. Oh my god, that would be a great idea. You haven't been talking about that forever or anything.
This is the first time I'm mentioning it publicly, though.
Yeah, well.
So
I talk to you a lot more not in public.
Yeah, that's kind of expected. Us being married and all that.
What?
I know. It's news to me, too. So, yeah, Ninja Turtles NES, that's what I've been playing. I've been playing it so much that Ryan actually made some overlays for me as to like try and like tempt me to play it on BattleGeek Plus instead of Kendamu. He's made some really rad overlays that like look way better than anything that I have. So
yeah, hopefully you'll see him tonight.
Hopefully see him tonight, or because we're gonna be doing some gameplay tonight. So maybe not Turtles, but we're gonna be doing some stuff. Right. So that's all we got for what you playing. Now we can move into some topics. So, well, actually, before we do the topics, like the news topics, maybe we should pull out this brand new little thing that Ryan has.
All right.
That sounded really bad, by the way. But we have this new product that Ryan has secured.
Yep.
It is the SNES Mini.
SNES Mini.
Yay.
Yep. Actually, I streamed it last Friday. And
he didn't have to murder anybody for it.
Kind of.
This time.
And during our final segment, I do have a funny story to tell about last week's stream. Oh boy, that was
oh boy.
That was,
let me see that.
Oh boy.
While you're telling your story. Good.
Well, actually, I wanted to talk about it as our last topic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay, cool. So, but yes, we got the SNES Mini. We will be talking about this a bit tonight, unboxing it and everything. It'll be really fun. What do you want to do? Do you want to do this now, or do you want to talk about the news topics?
I'd rather talk about the news topics first. And also, we have 2 more SNES Minis coming on the way. We have the UK and the Japanese Super Famicom Mini. Hopefully coming next week.
Yay!
We have 3, and fuck scalpers.
The better looking ones.
Fuck them scalpers.
Yeah.
So this is incredibly awesome. The box on this, like, it's pretty much exactly the same as the original SNES box. I mean, maybe some games are different on the back here, but yeah, I mean, It's pretty rad. But I guess, Ryan wants to be a party pooper, and he wants to go into the topics. Yeah. So we're going to go into topics. Commodore 64 Mini!
Commodore 64 Mini! Oh my god, I'm so excited for this thing. Like, when I was a kid, the Commodore 64 was the computer I had in addition to the NES, and I remember playing the hell out of this thing. And now they're announcing a Mini with like 80 games, and it's going to be amazing, man. Amazing.
I guess.
So the Commodore 64, I was really hoping that Christopher would be in the chat tonight.
Yeah.
Because I know he had a Commodore 64, and I remember a little bit about it because like it was by the point that the Commodore 64 was like super old.
Yeah.
Like it was like we're reaching like the mid 90s and we're messing around with the Commodore 64. So, and he had made a couple of games. Like there was one like he had made where like he had like a little bomber jet that just kind of flew across the screen, and you had like a target.
Right.
And you had to drop the bomb at the right time to hit the target right, and that's how you won the stage. Otherwise, if you hit the wrong spot, then no. And he had like a cheat for it that had like this weird like rainbow colored laser that like just changed colors that went straight down so that you would know when to drop the bomb.
Right.
And like so you could aim properly.
Pew pew pew.
Yeah, because on the Commodore 64, I do remember playing a lot of Oregon Trail, which is still awesome. But
fucking Oregon Trail.
But it's...
Stacy died of dysentery.
She shouldn't have dysentery.
You have the measles.
You have. I remember seeing Oregon Trail, like a one-panel comic strip about it. And it was like this dude, and it was in your inventory, he had like no clothing, no food, no other people, no anything. But he had 12 grandfather clocks on like a raft, and he had a hat. And it was just this naked stick guy with a hat and just a bunch of grandfather clocks just kind of going through the water.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So Commodore 64, you had a Commodore 64 and you were a fan of it. So tell us about the Commodore 64 and what was so great about it.
Yeah, well, the thing is about the Commodore 64 is, my dad bought it for me for, like Reader Rabbit and, all those educational games. Reader Rabbit was fun and all.
Fucking educational games.
But, I always wanted to see, like, Reader Rabbit, like, fall, like, off the building because, I didn't care for Reader Rabbit. I just wanted Reader Rabbit to die.
I didn't even play Reader Rabbit. I played Oregon Trail. I played, like, Number Munchers.
Number Munchers
like Math Rabbit. Yeah, I played Reader Rabbit, Math Rabbit, but I didn't give a shit about the fucking rabbit. I wanted to play like Oregon Trail, and I remember distinctly the Commodore 64 had a really good port of the NES Ghostbusters, which was way better than the NES version.
The NES version is like the worst version.
Yeah, exactly. And the Commodore 64 version of it was amazing. And I also remember playing this Attack LHX Chopper game, which was really good. And, there was also World Games, which is also on the NES, but the Commodore 64 version blew that version away.
Like, what was so much better about it?
Well, you were actually able to play it.
Okay.
Well, because the NES ones would always have really, really stiff control, but for some reason, the Commodore 64 versions of, like, the Epics, like, the World Games, the Winter Games, the Commodore 64 versions were just right. Like, they were playable.
Playable. by 80 standards?
Yeah, by 80 standards.
Okay.
Now, I have not played the Commodore 64, like, since, like, the 90s, but still, I have very fond memories of it. And I'm really excited for the system because, one, it's not going to cost a lot of money. It's going to cost, like just $80, and it comes with 80 games, so like $1 per game.
That's not
$80,
bad.
80 games. You get the keyboard with it?
Yeah, keyboard with it.
You get the controller with it? You get a controller with it?
Yeah, get a controller with it.
Like, what was it? Like the joystick with like, what, 2 or 3 buttons?
Yeah, joystick with it. It has USB inputs, if you want to put in your Xbox 360 controller, but fuck that, you got to play that shit with the keyboard and the joystick.
So, like, can you, like, program your own games on it or put your own programs on it?
Well, there is a keyboard there, and, I don't think they have the program to make game programs, but I do hope, though, before you play every game, you have to type in load *818, and for every game.
That's too much, Ryan.
You have to do that for every game, or else I'm not going to buy this thing.
Nope, it's going to pop up with an NES Mini style menu that you could just casually scroll through. And
Betrayal!
So
kill my childhood!
So yeah, I never had a Commodore 64, but the earliest menu I used to go through games was Auto Menu.
Oh, Auto Menu.
Auto Menu, it just had like 1, 2, 3, 4, and it was just like some programs, and then like you hit page down, and 5, 6, 7, 8, some programs, and so I had like Doom and like Commander Keen or something like that on it, you know, and stuff.
Yeah.
But I could exit to DOS if I wanted to go into hardcore mode.
Oh, yeah.
And load up Mortal Kombat. So,
Ooh, look at you.
or
Yes.
Tomb Raider, which on that computer ran basically like boop, boop, boop. And there was like no music or anything because I didn't have speakers. So like the internal speaker like in the tower was like you'd like shoot somebody in Doom and it was all like and like you couldn't change the volume at all.
But yeah, so the Commodore 64 Mini will probably be released sometime next year in the spring of 2018 and will probably retail for $80.
Is it something that like you can just get anywhere, or
I think you have to order it online from the website. I don't think they're doing a Kickstarter for it or anything, but I'll have to clarify that. Well, one thing for sure, it's going to be a lot better than the Atari box because
it already sounds like it's going to be immensely better.
Yeah, because I think this thing is. I think this is more of a less is more type thing. Well, it has less of those bullshit features from the Atari box and more games. Just the games, and that's it.
Which keeps the price point.
If you end up getting this, Ryan, I demand that you bring it over just so I can play Oregon Trail.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, if Oregon Trail's on it. I hope it's on it.
I don't see why it wouldn't be. It's easily the most famous game on that system.
We'll have to show it off on the show anyway, so you know.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Okay.
Totally. So, Commodore 64 Mini coming out, what, spring you said?
Yeah, spring 2018.
Cool. Let's move on to our next topic.
Which the topic is... Drum roll, please.
The Wii Shop is closing.
A Nintendo topic.
Oh, it's always Nintendo with this podcast.
Oh,
Always.
Nintendo.
Well, considering we got this, we're kind of like, sponsoring Nintendo again.
Pretty much. Like we were like Nintendo people, pretty much. Well, I mean, as far as the show goes, we're Nintendo people. Like, Frank's just like PC only. He's just like, PC out.
Well, so anyways...
yeah, you actually have to react now. You're live on video.
He's not good at reactions.
But he's good at impersonations.
I just choose not to react.
He conserves his power. That way he can overreact to the most minute of things.
Yes.
Well, so anyways...
Or like going to a movie and he's really upset about what's happening in the movie. Like... I thought I was going to get assaulted whenever we were watching Avatar.
You knew!
Airbender?
That was going to be bad when we got in.
Oh, it was awful. I regret sitting next to you.
I actually
put Josh in between
pleaded to try to get us to watch a different movie on his birthday.
It's what we wanted to see.
Was that the reason we went and saw that in the first place?
Yes. That's why we went and seen it.
It's because, what, you said Brad wanted to see it?
No, not Brad.
Who?
It was, we watched it in Terre Haute, remember?
Yeah, who?
It was your roommate's
Trent?
birthday, yes.
Trent wanted to see it?
It was Trent, yes. It was Trent's birthday.
Maybe his
or his girlfriend's birthday.
Maybe, yeah.
It's like, let's go watch.
It was somebody's birthday.
Yeah,
and it wasn't any of ours, so it's possible.
Because I wouldn't have forced you to go watch that. Like, I was just like, whatever about it. Yeah, so it might have been his girlfriend at the time's birthday.
Yeah, probably.
Like that sounds like the most reasonable thing. But yeah, Last Airbender. Wii Shop's closing. That's the topic we're talking about.
Yeah, sorry about that. We were talking about a shitty movie that everyone's badly reviewed.
Right? Yeah. Hold on.
You mean
Gabe?
Properly reviewed.
Properly. Oh, yeah.
There we go.
There we go.
That's the term.
I will slap you, Ryan.
I'm sorry.
Gabe says in the chat, would be neat to have one since I've never had any experience with the Commodore 64.
Yeah, I definitely recommend getting it, although I don't know if, kid gamers would get into it, but fuck those guys.
So,
Yeah, kids, get off my lawn.
Fuck our potential audience.
Especially those IGN reviewers.
Anyway, the Wii Shop's closing.
The Wii Shop is closing.
No!
So January...
Oh, no, the horror.
January 31st, 2019, which that's going to be a while. the Wii Shop is closing for good.
Yeah, I feel like this is like, I don't know. I feel like it's kind of...
It's more than a year away.
Yeah, that's so weird to me. I don't know, like...
It gives you plenty of time. But January 31st, 2019, the Wii Shop is closing.
Yep.
Excuse me.
Stop it.
Truly a sad day for video games.
It will be a sad day. I have so many games from the Wii Shop on my Wii, which is sitting over in a tote on the other side of this couch that you can't see.
Well, I had a lot of games.
See the couch.
I had a lot of games too, but my Wii ended up breaking, so I can't get them back.
I think our Wii still works.
Our Wii still works. I remember you played a lot of Samurai Toaster, whatever that was called.
Yeah. Eduardo the Samurai Toaster. I played a lot of that. It was very like Contra, but Japanese and a toaster.
And homicidal vegetables.
And homicidal Pop-Tarts.
And bees.
And bees, yeah.
Bees!
Yeah, but it was I played a lot of that. I played Ninja Jajamaru-kun.
Yes, you played that a lot too.
That one was like the first import game that I got on the Wii Shop. It was an extra $1 to get it. And
actually, wasn't Turtles on the Wii Shop too?
Yeah, the first Turtles
It was an extra $1.
It was an extra $1 also because there was like a licensing nightmare to get that on there in the first place. To the point where like they didn't do any of the other stuff. John is in the chat and he is saying a sad day for video games, the Wii Shop closing. Gabe says, kind of sad to see it ending soon. And John says, I say stock up all the games while you can. And that is a good idea.
Well, I can't get mine back, so fuck that.
Do you not have it like on like an SD card or anything?
Nope, it was on the console.
Yeah, see, mine, I put them on an SD card because
don't you have like an account registered?
Not on the Wii.
It's different on the Wii.
The Wii U, it saves it to a Nintendo account, but if you have the original Wii, like that doesn't. Right. So you actually, like when the Wii U came out, you had the chance to move everything from Wii to Wii U, and you still can.
Which I couldn't do.
But yeah, if your Wii's dead, you can't
Poor
do that.
Ryan.
But mine are at least on a SD card, so, you know, maybe someone can hack those onto my computer or something. Not that I probably don't have most of those ROMs already, or have the opportunity to get them. But I did legit buy a ton of Virtual Console games for the Wii. That was
you did.
I had like over.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
I had like
over a lot of games.
I had over like 70.
70 games.
Yeah.
It took up like what, 4 full screens.
The main problem was the classic controller. You had to play on some of them.
Well, yeah, because the Wii remote only has like 2 buttons.
It was just the most terrible remote I've ever had to put my hands around.
I didn't have that much of a problem.
Yeah, I don't think I had a problem.
My hands are not yours.
Yeah, you were about ready to say some shit, and it's not true. And, but I mean, there's other, way after the fact, there's other controllers. Like, you could take the SNES Mini remote or the NES Mini remote and plug it into a Wii remote.
Yeah, but you didn't have those.
I'm saying it was way after the fact is what I'm saying. So, I'm sure something like that existed out there, but I was fine with it, and you were only around once in a while.
Yeah.
So... but yeah, I had a ton of games.
Yeah, I remember seeing all your games. I was like, wow, there's a lot of games,
There are lots of games that I was like, yeah, I need to take some time to sit down and play that. And of course, I never did. What a shock.
Gabe says in the chat, that shop made me learn about lesser-known consoles like the Sega Master System, Neo Geo, and TurboGrafx. Which I had some games from there as well, but I think mostly I got like NES, Super NES, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I remember the first day the Wii came out. I actually bought Bonk's Adventure on the TurboGrafx there.
Fucking Bonk's Adventure.
I love that game.
Oh, man.
The only thing that ever disappointed me on the Virtual Console was the port of Star Fox 64. And the reason being because the way the button layout was, and you couldn't change the button layout.
Oh, yeah.
The boost was the uppermost button. No, the boost was the lower button, and the brake was the upper button. So I wanted to press the more forward button to go forward, like on the N64, but I'd hit that and start to brake, and I'd totally mess up. And, I'd go to hit the brake, and instead I would boost, and I'd totally mess up. So, I was so excited for Star Fox 64.
That makes me think about
I never ended up playing much of it.
It makes me think about whenever we first got Tomb Raider. And you couldn't change the camera controls.
Oh, yeah.
And I couldn't finish the game because I would be trying to play, because I play with inverted camera controls.
Yep,
Like some kind of weird Canadian or something.
Whatever. No,
Hey,
it's
inverted camera controls.
It's the only way to play.
You're Canadian,
only way
too.
to play. But anyway.
Yep, like spicy.
But like,
Or salty.
but like, every time I tried to move and I needed the camera, like I'd be in the middle of a firefight and I'd be like, every 10 seconds I'd be like, fuck, god damn it. And like, I'd have to pause the game and I'd have to sit there for a second. And then finally I just gave up and I was like, fuck this. Like,
you couldn't adapt.
I couldn't adapt. Okay. Kind of like how Josh couldn't adapt to the boost being behind the brake.
Oh yeah, like I remember we did play a couple of N64 games on the main on our old Let's Play show.
Yeah,
like using your Wii Virtual Console.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
we
did.
did.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I remember also,
I think we played Smash Brothers.
Yeah,
and-
Smash Brothers. Well, but we already had the wired game pads for that.
Yeah.
But also, I do remember, like, I didn't get a lot of N64 games too for the same reason, because because back then, all we had was that classic controller, to use. And I bought Mario Kart, I bought Mario 64, and it wasn't too bad for Mario 64, but it was kind of hard to get used to for Mario Kart.
It was good for Mario 64. It was good for Zelda Ocarina of Time.
Yeah.
Now the 3DS port of Star Fox 64, as far as I know, the controls are really good for that.
Yeah.
But like that wasn't just like a virtual console port. Like that was like done from the ground up and retextured and all kinds of cool stuff. So hey, Clunk.
The real star of the show.
Yeah.
He's always here.
He's all like, "Hey, my best friend Frank."
We're not friends.
Yeah, because you guys get along so well.
It's on his end.
Whatever.
Okay, whatever. I'd
Oh,
say
really?
it's about 50.
Do I have anything against Crystal? No.
No, you don't. No.
Yes, it is.
At this point, I think it's about 50.
Do I attack him when he paces? No.
You do torment him, though.
I do not torment him.
I think you start shit with him sometimes. You're just like, what?
Because he won't be
Now,
quiet.
see, he loves you. He wants to groom
loves
you.
you.
So he loves you. He's gonna come over and
He's
try and love
just
you again.
He's just fooling you guys.
Stop it. Leave him alone.
Clunk, come here.
Turd. He's a turd cat.
That's one way of saying it.
So, anywho, he doesn't. wanna hang
And
out
also, I
with you.
do remember on the Wii Virtual Console, like Punch Out. Like that was the first time I think ever that there was input lag for Punch Out.
Well,
I remember you
oh,
complaining about
because
that.
of the wireless controller.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because I was gonna say like I was playing that on a CRT for most of the time that I owned a Wii.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
you know.
Well, I had an HD TV by that time already. So,
Okay, yeah, no, I had a CRT. Like I got an HD TV when I got a PS4, which was later,
right.
like in time for like the Arkham games to start happening.
Yeah.
I remember those days.
Like we got
So
like
much fun.
we bought the PS4 and then I tried and I plugged it into
What would it be, the PS3?
PS3. My bad.
PS3.
The PS3.
I knew what you meant, honey.
I got the PS3. That's when I got an HD TV, and it came with Metal Gear Solid 4, and I bought Street Fighter 4. And Metal Gear Solid 4, playing that on a CRT, you couldn't know, you couldn't tell what half the things were. It was all like, is that a ration or is that a mine that's going to kill me if I walk over it?
Oops.
But like Street Fighter was like big and loud and enough that I could manage to play it, even though it didn't look that great. So we ended up going to like Radio Shack and getting like a 20-inch HD TV like monitor for like $300 or
Jeez,
something.
man.
Like it was crazy.
That was fun.
And
it was like, oh, we can actually read the text.
Right? So like we had to get that before Arkham came out. But yeah, so if you have a Wii and a Wii U, you might want to transfer that stuff to the Wii U for your virtual console games. Once the eShop closes, your Wii Shop points will be null and void. You won't be able to use them anymore. And the Wii Shop, when it does close, if you have any games that you need to re-download, there will be a period of time that you can re-download games that you have purchased, but eventually that will go away as well, and the date for that has not been set yet. So while you have all this time leading up to January 31st, 2019, you might want to get that in order if you haven't already. We don't even have a Wii U, and we're never going to have a Wii U.
No.
So there's really not much we can do except for, just
rap about it, apparently.
rap about it.
You rhymed.
You rhymed.
Oh. Did I?
At least Frank got it.
'Twas a poet, and I did not realize it.
Precisely.
And
you should be a puppet and shut it.
I've never heard that one before.
All right, Frank.
I just made that up.
Frank,
of course you did.
Frank, you take the rest of the
lot.
story then.
You'll say stuff, and I'm like, I've never heard that before. You're like, exactly.
Because I made it up.
Apparently, I've been relieved of my hosting duty. I'll just sit here and drink.
Well, all I know is that whenever you said that line about being a poet, not knowing or not realizing it, yeah, I fucked that up. It made me be all like, oh, remember all that time we wasted at Denny's in college?
We wasted a lot of time at Denny's in college.
A lot of time at Denny's.
I mean, there wasn't really much to do in Terre Haute, Indiana, though.
No, there wasn't.
So we wasted a lot of time at Denny's.
Including playing the Wii, apparently.
At Denny's.
So, at Denny's.
I don't think we played it at Denny's. So. But
did you even try?
I don't know if Denny's had an internet connection at the time.
But let's see. Gabe also says, I hope that many games, especially WiiWare games, get re-released on other systems. I know some of the stuff that I had WiiWare-wise, like World of Goo.
Oh yeah, World of Goo.
I had a lot of fun with that.
I loved World of Goo on
like,
the Wii.
Yeah, that was a big
But it's on like
every single.
Yeah. It's on every single console,
right?
And even the Switch.
But I don't know. I don't know about those WiiWare games. If some of them will actually get a re-release or not. But some of the bigger ones,
Contra Rebirth, Castlevania Rebirth. Those only WiiWare only games.
Right. So, but I mean, if you want to get like Mega Man 9 or whatever, like you can get that pretty much anywhere, right?
Oh yeah, anywhere.
So, World of Goo you can get anywhere. I don't know about Eduardo the Samurai Toaster, but I would imagine that I could find it on Steam. So, I don't know if anybody's even buying that anymore, but it probably exists. So, yeah, get your stuff transferred if you have a Wii and a Wii U. If you don't have both, then, well, don't worry about it. I might plug in my Wii just before the shop closes to see if I have any extra points to spend on something dumb. So, not just like 100 points, can't use it for anything, you know. I lost $1 to Nintendo! So, I've lost...
You'll never get this dollar, Josh!
Okay, Reggie.
That
Reggie.
dollar...
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
that dollar will... I've lost many dollars.
We'll forever be lost in the void.
It's a void dollar.
The void dollar.
Void dollar.
Less valuable than a regular dollar.
Less valuable than a regular.
You know, inflation.
All right, let's move on to our next topic because I want to get to some SNES Mini stuff that Ryan's waiting till the end to talk about.
All right.
So topic number 3 is the Sonic the Hedgehog live action movie.
Yep, it was just announced.
And...
I took that opportunity to exit.
No, you need to be here for this.
You need to be here for this one, Frank. Come back.
This is your territory, Frank. Sonic is like your territory. You need to be here for this. We need to see how horrible you already know this is going to be.
So it was just announced Paramount is going to make a hybrid live action and CG Sonic the Hedgehog live action movie.
Is it going to be directed by M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong?
No, probably Michael Bay.
Probably Michael Bay. Because Paramount was...
So, maybe a step up?
Because Paramount, they're the ones who own the rights to the Ninja Turtles movies right now, because that's all Viacom, and Viacom, Nickelodeon Turtles, yeah.
Is it just going to be a bunch of guys in furry costumes running around?
No. Did you see the Michael Bay Turtles movies?
No.
Did you see any advertisements for them?
Yeah.
Did you see how the Turtles looked?
Yeah.
That was a hybrid CG live action film.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be so bad.
Imagine Sonic in that style.
Oh my God.
Platinum Dunes.
I think I'd much sooner watch the fan movie.
The fan movie that was CGI and live
Oh yeah,
action
that one
hybrid.
we reviewed with John,
Yeah,
right?
we reviewed it with John on BoobTube Gaming. BoobTube is actually in the chat right now. The chat's over here. But yeah, so he's actually in the chat right now. We back in what? July? July.
Yeah, that's when we were...
Yeah,
July.
because it was Anime Expo.
Right,
Last day of
because
Anime
4th of
Expo.
July, we ended up being up there and getting shit-faced.
Okay,
Yeah.
like remember when like the first Michael Bay Turtles movie came out and like you saw how Michelangelo looked the first time with the Megan Fox going like...
Yeah, where it's like a Shrek face with like, I don't know, some toilet paper over his eyeballs.
Yeah, I'm expecting Sonic to kind of look like that, but blue.
His eyes
furry,
are gonna be
like-
fucking freakish.
Oh my god.
Like, can you
His
imagine?
eyes are gonna be freakish as fuck.
Like, can you imagine them trying to do a realistic
How many
Sonic
other ways can I say
where
that
he has
line?
like one giant eyeball with two pupils?
So Robotnik's just going to be the only normal person there?
Oh,
That'd be a reason to root for Robotnik.
Well, who knows?
Come on, kill him! Oh!
Ooh, you know what he could also ruin? Amaletta.
Everything?
Well, besides that, Amaletta.
Could
Oh,
ruin
Yeah.
him.
Yeah,
But-
or I get.
So Paramount, Sonic the Hedgehog, live action CGI movie. Frank, you're the Sonic fan here. Like, out of all of us, like, if one of us had to be like the Sonic
It's
guy.
like watching, like, that relative that you looked up to and then, like, you came back and then all of a sudden you find out that they're a druggie and they just keep
They're just a loser.
fumbling and tumbling. And
So,
just
like, that cool-
Just kill yourself.
So like, if you had like a cool uncle, and then like when you grew up, you realized all the horrible shit they were into when they weren't around, like that sort of thing. Like,
No,
No, it'd be like my cousin.
oh,
like they went to college, they got all good grades, and then they did drugs, and then it's
Oh
downhill.
no, my cousin
from
didn't even do
there.
that. He tried. I tried to help him, and then he never put the energy into actually applying, and that's
but
what he did.
paint
not did.
a picture for me, Frank. What do you
Yeah.
think this movie's going to look like? Like you got the trailer kind of playing in your head as to how
I
horrible you think this is
imagine-
going to be.
It's gonna look like an open field, and then within that open field is a rock. But that rock isn't a rock. It's actually a tombstone. And engraved in the tombstone is your childhood. There is no day in this open field. There's only dust and more dusker. And there are no animals in sight. Because that's where everything goes to die.
So Frank, you think there's gonna be chili dogs in the movie?
Ooh, and some root beer.
Maybe.
Okay, so they'll have some kind of cross
And
promotion.
they'll have just
Oh.
onion rings instead of just regular rings.
They will probably do a cross promotion in the movie with Sonic, like the
Yes,
restaurants.
exactly.
I think that's where you were going with that.
Oh,
right?
that's
okay,
exactly what I was
yeah.
thinking.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So he's
Ooh.
like,
Now
I'm
I-
Sonic and I need to go eat Sonic.
Now I want to go get tater tots and a shake.
We can do that after
Yeah,
the show.
there's actually gonna probably be a scene in the movie where Robotnik and Sonic are fighting, and there's people eating at Sonic. Tater tots and hot dogs,
Oh,
and then
no.
Robotnik destroys the Sonic, and Sonic gets mad. He's like, "Oh my god, I was gonna get
My
some chili
chili
dogs."
You destroyed my chili dogs. Now I have to unleash my ultimate attack that I've been waiting until the end of the third act to use.
What if-
the spin dash?
What if it's just based on a Sonic restaurant and Sonic's like the icon and Egg Robotnik's like actually the CEO?
That sounds similar to your thing.
Oh, yeah. About
Like-
how my theory now with Robotnik is that he's like some middle-aged man who's sick and tired of these vermin tearing up his fucking yard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He just lives in a house in suburbia, and he's got like his niece.
Yeah,
You know,
coming over and
coming
tinkering
over.
with him and shit.
Yeah, and like he
She's
tinkers with stuff in
determined
the
to help him
garage
get rid
and
of that damn hedgehog and his friends.
He's trying to keep his lawn nice, and they're digging holes, and
Yeah, exactly.
knocking over his garbage and stuff. Yeah,
Got a flying fox eating his flowers
Just
and
let
shit.
Sonic die. Just please.
Oh well, but Frank, what?
What about Sonic Mania?
Well, but what do you think Knuckles is gonna look like in
That's
this
like
movie?
finding that your uncle had like a cool streak after the drugs. Like he was doing pretty good, and then he got right back on that train.
Choo choo.
Oh, actually, like, what are Tails and Knuckles gonna look like in this movie?
Tails is going to be a sexy girl that's also furry, and Knuckles is going to be
He'll look like a real echidna and it'll freak a lot of people out.
yeah, he'll look like a real echidna.
He's gonna look like your nightmares wrapped in fear, bathed in agony.
Oh my
dipped
god.
Knuckles is going to
in
be
pain.
Knuckles is going to be like the token black CG character, like to the point where it's
But
like
wait.
extremely
Isn't that
racist.
supposed to be Shadow?
No, he's like emo goth.
Oh, excuse me. Well, they totally missed the head on
Shadow,
that.
you had so much potential.
Yeah, and it was all used up in Sonic Adventure 2.
Yep.
And then after that, it was just like whatever. So
and wait, is Amy Rose going to be the news reporter? Or
no, there's gonna be a human love interest. They're gonna pull a Sonic 06, and there's gonna be a human love interest, and there's gonna be.
It's gonna be awful.
There's gonna be a human love interest, and
the furries are gonna go wild, y'all.
And no, they're not gonna go wild because these are not going to be like looking like characters that are like fursuits come to life. They're not going to be cute or anything.
Okay, when I said that, I was
You think
more
that's
in
gonna stop
reference
the
to
boners?
like that was more in reference to like the young furries who don't really.
Okay, I don't want to be part of this conversation anymore.
Okay, bye.
I'll come back afterwards.
But like, I wasn't talking about like established people in the community that put their time and energy in making their costumes and going to functions and whatever. I'm talking about like the 13-year-olds, you know,
Like I'm just imagining
who are just discovering that that's a thing,
like they're gonna do
having
like
their first boner.
They're gonna do like the turtles and try and make them look realistic. That's what I imagine. Like you just got like, well, why Sonic Blue then? Oh, because of
He was a rebel. He dyed his quills.
he dyed his quills and he's wearing like punk rock gear and like,
So he wouldn't be running around naked the whole show?
No, they got to put him in clothes like they did the turtles with the Paramount movies.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
So
I didn't watch those movies, so.
the second Turtles movie wasn't so bad because even the parts that were super lame were no more lame than the actual cartoon they were pulling that shit from.
Yeah.
So
I was impressed with the design for Bebop and Rocksteady.
those were
But
really
I still
good.
did
Yeah,
not
they were.
go see that movie.
So
I
but
was not going to be spending my money on that garbage.
I just do not expect this to go well at all.
No.
But it's happening. Maybe they've got the rights for it. That doesn't mean it's necessarily not going to drop into development hell and never actually come out. And what that might be a real possibility is that Paramount has these rights and they're going to sit there and do nothing for like 8 years. And then they're like, oh, we need to make something out of this or otherwise we're going to lose the rights. And then they're going to throw out some trash really quickly with the name Sonic the Hedgehog on it just to keep their rights secure or to try and make some money off of it before they expire. The same way, that's what happened with Dragon Ball Evolution. Like, Fox had those rights back when, like, DBZ was the hype on Toonami. And then right before those rights expired, they were all like, quick, write some stuff about airbending and Chi-Chi eating strawberries. And this guy likes Dragon Ball, make him Piccolo. And that's how that went. So, and that was a horrible game.
Yeah, well, thanks to that, Super exists now.
Right? Exactly. Right. Yeah, thanks to Evolution, Battle of Gods was good, Resurrection F was good, and Super exists now.
Exactly.
So, because Toriyama stepped in and was like, enough! Stop messing with my baby. I can't trust you guys. But yeah, Gabe says in the chat, hopefully the film doesn't have glitches a la Sonic Boom and Sonic 06. The film glitches. Like Sonic's just running down the street and he just clips through the sidewalk. And then he just goes to the credits. Like, that would be wonderful.
Be great.
Oh, Frank's back.
Or he bends down to get up a penny and then he stands up and he's in a completely different area.
So, actually...
What's going on?
if Paramount had any good ideas in them about Sonic, it would probably take the people who write the Sonic Boom TV show
Oh, God.
and make them make the movie. So that at the very least, it's full of in-jokes and references and nonsense.
Yeah.
I like nonsense.
Probably.
To a certain extent, anyway.
So, like that would at least be kind of funny. So, anywho, so that we can get Frank back in on this show here in a moment, we're going to go ahead and move on to our final topic for the evening, something that I wanted to do earlier on, but Ryan hates you all, and so he made you wait.
Hey,
We're moving into...
save the best part for last.
We are moving into, in just a moment, I'm really trying to drag it out as hard as I can so that certain things can be figured out. The SNES Mini.
SNES Mini.
SNES Mini is something that we've been waiting on for a while. And Ryan finally has it.
Yep, finally got it. I streamed it last week, and boy, do I got a story to tell about that.
Oh, please, Ryan, do tell.
Let's move close here because we don't have a second camera at the moment.
And if you're listening to the audio version, well, sorry, you can't see it, but yeah, we're showing the SNES Mini.
You can Google the image for it.
You can also head to twitch.tv/BattleGeekPlus and watch the archive of this stream so that you can take a look at the whole show, how it aired live, without any cool editing from Heather. Because she's the one who edits all the sound and everything and puts the audio version together for you. So yeah, there we go. Have you registered this thing yet?
No, not yet.
Oh, well, I just showed that barcode.
Oh no!
Hi, Clock. But yes.
Well, then I guess the first thing we're doing is, registering the damn thing.
So this is the SNES Mini in the
It's
box.
beautiful.
Ryan, tell your story.
Okay, well, first let's begin. From what I heard about the launch, it actually went a lot more smoothly than the NES Mini launch. Like what I heard, Nintendo actually shipped. I actually think Clunk wants to talk about the SNES Mini, but
Well,
there
too
you
bad.
go. So what I heard, hold on, the camera's having some trouble focusing.
It needs to refocus.
Okay, hey, sorry about the focus, guys.
It's Josh's fault.
Okay.
There you go.
Now
You're
sit your
refocused.
booty down.
No. I'm not. I'm going to go pee.
Oh, okay.
Okay, well-
Ryan, tell your story.
Okay, anyways, from what I heard about the launch, it actually went a lot more smoothly than the NES Mini launch. I mean, yeah, there were some people who were not able to get it, but from what I heard, Nintendo shipped about 2.2 million SNES Minis out to retailers, which was pretty much more than what they ever made for the NES Mini. So, and what I heard, the Nintendo store in New York got over 200 of them.
Whoa.
Yeah, so
Easy there, Nintendo.
So one of Joe's friends was actually our pal Joe, who's not watching us right now. I think one of his friends was able to get one for him, so Joe didn't have to go back to his own house because he had to work somewhere to earn money.
I'm pretty sure that Joe doesn't have a job.
Right.
I'm convinced of this. He doesn't work. He just walks around and takes pictures of things around New York.
And all his Mario stuff too.
Well, yeah, but I'm pretty sure that's what's going on.
Well, yeah, he basically lives in the Nintendo store, which is his house. But,
well, yeah.
Well, anyways, I also heard a whole bunch of Targets actually had some Targets. Actually at the very least they got 30 units in each Target.
Whoa, a whole 30.
A whole 30. That's more than the 15 they had total for the NES Mini.
I do know that. So my buddy June, who I've told you about, he was the guy who just randomly walked in to go shopping with his gal one day, and there was just NES Mini just sitting on the shelf, and he just picked it up casually and bought it. No big deal. He actually waited in line for the SNES Mini.
Yeah.
And he said he waited maybe 20 minutes, and there was still plenty in stock by the time he got up to the counter, and there wasn't a hassle in the slightest. So he says he thought about selling it because he has a side business on eBay.
Okay.
And I was like, June, don't be a scalping
No
douche. She's like, well, I
scalpers.
wouldn't be like, he was talking about how I wouldn't be like these scalpers that would try and sell it for $500 or some shit. And I'm like, don't be a scalper. He's like, yeah, honestly, I bought it because I wanted it, and I've definitely been playing it, and it's the greatest thing in the world.
Oh, yeah.
So he's definitely not getting rid of it at all.
Awesome. You guys know after my recent eBay scam problem, I am seriously fuck scalpers, and if you scalp this thing, I'll become Batman and hunt you down, personally.
You best start lifting them weights, man.
I'm Ryan.
Anyways.
I want to see the box. I haven't looked at the box yet.
Where's the Mini? Where is it?
Where is the SNES Mini? You must have friends. Anyways, I also heard GameStop only got probably 10 per store, so there's a lot of disappointed people from GameStop. I heard Toys R Us got about 30 in, and although I remember going to Target after work on Friday when this thing came out because I had to pick up some toiletries, and no, I didn't see any SNES Minis out in the wild. But I saw some Nintendo Switch consoles out in the wild, so those are easy to get. And before I came here today to record the podcast, I went to Target to buy some food. I didn't see the SNES Mini in stock, but from what I heard, there's going to be shipments coming like every single week now. So if you're patient enough, you should not have a problem getting this thing.
Fantastic.
And also now, my crazy story about this thing.
Your crazy story.
Crazy story. So yeah, Gabe was there, and I know Chris was there. So when I tried to stream this thing last Friday, I tried to play our old NES and Famicom Mini review for Awesome Video Game Memories that we did last year. Like, I played it in OBS. It got about 6 minutes in, and then it crashed OBS. And when I was like, okay, crap. So I said, okay, fine, we'll go through with the stream. And the funniest thing is, so when I was showing off the box for the SNES Mini, I was like, hey guys, I got the SNES Mini. And then Gabe in the chat was like, the microphone's off, dude.
So you're just flailing around on camera with this box.
Yeah. And then Chris was there saying like, well, the enthusiasm's real. So I was pretty much, so I'm going to do a reenactment. I was like,
And just they can't hear anything.
That's so great.
And so I tried to get the microphone working again. I couldn't get it working. And so like I was like, okay, microphone working now, guys? And then they're like, no. So
I remember you tweeting about being like, oh, sorry about the mic issues.
yeah, like I was on TweetDeck on my 3 Twitter accounts saying like, sorry guys, microphone issues. So I had no choice but to put in my Blue Yeti so you can actually hear everything. You heard my air conditioner, and then like you heard, all the people outside, pushing their grocery carts. But I was like, fuck it, man, we're going to play this SNES Mini and we're going to have a good time. And yeah, it went over pretty smoothly, aside from all the outside sounds that usually my microphone doesn't catch. But yeah, so Gabe and Chris.
That actually legit was a funny story.
Yeah, so
Gabe.
Great. Yeah, so Gabe and Chris were there for most of the time. Josh, popped in. Like way after all the technical problems. So I don't think you knew about all the technical.
No, I didn't know about the technical problems. You were already like.
Oh, of course it was. It went perfectly.
Yeah. So that reminds me though. Like I've been using for my streaming. I've been using the PlayStation headset.
Yeah.
As my microphone,
which is garbage,
and it gets kind of uncomfortable.
Well, mine broke.
I can't like stream for super long periods of time because it just kind of squishes my head. And we needed to get a new headset, and we've been saying that for a while now. But the microphone on there, if you flip it up so that it's like flush and it's just a headset, like you can't hear me talking. And sometimes I'll pop that up to like take a drink of something or take a bite of something, or like when I'm gonna go and like. When I put it on, be right back, and I go and I do other stuff. And I'll put the headset back on, and I'll continue playing. There's been a couple times so far I'm like explaining what I'm doing, and then like 3 or 4 minutes later, I'm like, oh crap, flip the mic back down. I'm all like, I didn't even realize. So that was a thing that was happening.
Yeah.
Not nearly as crazy as.
Yeah, exactly, Gabe. My PC just did not want me to stream the SNES Mini last Friday. So. It was disastrous. But luckily, the day after, I was able to play Star Fox and Star Fox 2 completely perfect.
I did see you play
Star
Fox.
Yeah, you saw it. And I was using my normal headset too, which worked.
Good. So, the SNES Mini, let's take a look at this unit.
Yeah.
Now, we don't have the NES Mini here right now to compare it to, but that's okay. We do have a Famicom Mini if we want to take a look at that. We can at least just kind of... So, you can't come up with like a real comparison.
Famicom Mini, just like in our review from last year.
So you take a look, like they're very similar in size. Look at that. So not exactly. I mean, the Famicom's a little bit skinnier, but
we also got
handles. So, but yeah, we got none of the. Like, the eject button doesn't work, but your power button is just like the power button on Super Nintendo. Your reset button is just like the reset button on Super Nintendo. So you've got a very similar idea as to, like, your reset button on your Famicom Mini, your power button on your Famicom Mini. It's all the same. The controllers are very similar to SNES controllers. They are just about the same. I watched a video actually talking about the differences, showing the two controllers side by side. But really, the differences are so minute that I don't even really need to go over them here.
I like that they're not tiny.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have been super cute. It would have been super cute, but they're not tiny.
The Famicom Mini, the reason the controllers are tiny there is to have it be able to hook to the sides, just like the original Famicom. The NES Mini had normal size controllers. The SNES Mini has normal size controllers. So that all works out really well. But yeah, Gabe says, "My God, it's small," and that's why everybody calls it the Mini. It's technically called the Classic Edition, but it is the Mini. Is what everybody's been calling it. The controller ports on it are just like the NES Mini, which they would plug into like a Wii remote. So if you did have a Wii, you could boop and use this as a classic controller, I guess. But they do plug directly into the console, don't they?
Yep.
What is there, like a...
Actually, what you got to do is open it from the bottom. There you go. See? Take a look right here. These are the controller ports. I wasn't able to show these off on my stream, but yeah, here they are close up.
So, just plug those in. Boop. How long are these controller cables?
Oh, they're a lot longer than the NES Mini.
So, they're a good, 3 feet? Maybe not quite 3 feet.
No, actually 5 feet, I think.
I don't
know. A little under 5 feet.
Yeah, it was almost the span of your...
So, yeah, I don't know. Let's just stretch it from the ground up. Yeah, no, you're looking at...
Yeah, so it's almost as long as I am tall.
So, yeah, that's pretty long. So, about maybe 5 feet, I would say. So, there you go. You can plug that back in.
All right, cool.
And what do we got here? We got the setup instructions.
Right here. Who needs instructions?
But I don't think...
Nobody.
With a... Oh, we got this cool poster with it too.
I showed this on the stream yesterday. I mean, not yesterday, last week. But get to see it again.
On the back of the unit itself, you do have an HDMI port, HDMI out, and you have a micro USB power in. Did that come with all the cables on the American version?
Yep, it sure did.
I know on the Japanese version, the Famicom Mini, back when the Famicom and NES versions were being released, that you had to get a power adapter separately.
Yeah, this comes with the power adapter. But I know the Super Famicom Mini doesn't come with the power adapter, but I got the bundle, which is good.
Okay, rad. So let's hook this up. Let's see what this looks like in action.
All right.
Right meow.
Right meow.
Right meow.
Okay.
So,
anyways,
let's just take a look at what this looks like. And for everybody who's watching it live, they get to see what it looks like. As for everybody who's just listening to the audio version, that's our last topic. Ryan, can you let our audience know where else they can find us and when else they can find us?
All right, so you can watch our videos at youtube.com/BattleGeekPlus. We do awesome video game memories. Every Tuesday, we release the audio version of this podcast on Thursdays and little snippets here throughout the week. And also, for those who are listening to the audio version, you can actually watch this podcast live on twitch.tv/BattleGeekPlus on Tuesdays at 7:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And also on Fridays and Saturdays, I play games here on Twitch. This last week, I did the SNES Mini and Star Fox 1 and 2. This week, I'm playing the original Street Fighter on Friday and then Street Fighter 2 on Saturday. I mean, I mentioned that last week, but the SNES Mini came early, so I wanted to play that instead. So yeah, make sure if you are listening to this on iTunes or YouTube, you should follow our Twitch channel at twitch.tv/BattleGeekPlus.
You can head to our videos or highlights and actually see our past broadcasts too. So
yes, I will kick my PC next time it does that, but I probably should not kick my PC, Gabe.
Gabe's saying that Ryan's PC should stop messing up.
Yes.
So yes, that's true. All right, well that's it for this week for Waxing Pixels. So we're going to get out of here. My name's Josh. I'll see you later. Heather?
Bye.
Ryan?
Later.
Frank? Awesome. Fantastic. See you next time.